So iDubbbz finally uploaded a video responding to the backlash he's received from kicking Froggy fresh from his Creator Clash 2 card 3 weeks out from the event. If you want to learn about that situation more in depth, I have a couple videos on screen you can check out. But if you don't care about the details and just want to know the general feedback iDubbbz is getting on his video, the top comment says, "Imagine making Keemstar sound reasonable." Needless to say, it's not looking good for him. And that sentiment also carried over to Twitter, with the video's upload causing him and Sam Hyde's name to trend on Twitter. The first response I want to go over is from Froggy Fresh himself, who posted this Twitter video with the caption, "My only response to the iDubbbz video."
iDubbbz, I saw your video. You put my face on SpongeBob SquarePants. You said I was a meanie. You said I don't respect sex workers. I'm going to tell you something. Have you ever seen Ricky Martin in Living La Vida Loca? Have you ever seen that man move? That man is a sex worker. And I respect that man. So you explain that.
Jabroni shares screenshots of the DMs iDubbbz had with Froggy Fresh that he flashed on screen really quickly in his video, and captions it by saying, "iDubbbz just dropped this text convo. Green is iDubbbz, gray is Froggy Fresh. This conversation plays out exactly how Froggy described it weeks ago. Thoughts?" The DMs are from March 12th, 2020, and it starts out with iDubbbz saying, "Hey dude, I just want to clarify that I'm not mad at you. I just want this event to go well, and part of that is trying to be proactive about things. I just want to find a solution. I really appreciate your friendship, and don't want to feel like I've upset you." Froggy responds by saying, "I don't understand what's wrong. Can I not work with Sam Hyde? He's been very nice to me." iDubbbz responds by saying, "It's just a tricky situation. I personally have been hurt by a lot of things he's done. If he's your friend, that's totally understandable. I just don't get along with him, and I'm afraid of having him associated with the event. There are others involved in the event that also aren't comfortable with." Froggy responds, "Yeah, he's my friend. I don't understand what me going to Rhode Island to work with Sam has to do with anyone who is uncomfortable with him. They don't have to see or work with him." iDubbbz responds, "I agree. Privately, what you do is absolutely only your business. But because we are running a public charity event, we need to be careful about these things because you do represent the event in some ways. I had similar issues last year. I thought, no problem, Harley. You can work with Sam Hyde. But it ended up attracting a bad crowd, and I got harassed online about it a lot because it was a public display." Froggy responds, "That's nice of you to give Harley permission to work with Sam. I didn't know I needed your permission as well." iDubbbz responds by saying, "It's not about permission. He just called and asked if I was cool with it, because he was making content around it." Froggy responds, "So what are we actually discussing right now? If I work with Sam Hyde, are you going to prevent me from fighting in the event?" iDubbbz responds, "He actively makes content about wanting my marriage to end, that my wife is evil, and hasn't respected my boundaries. I don't feel comfortable having him associated with the event. I'm wondering if you can understand where I'm coming from on that." Froggy responds, "I can understand the way you feel. I'm sorry about that, but you also have to understand that he is my friend, so I can't just tell him I can't be friends with him because Ian said so. That's why I'm asking you if I work with him, are you going to prevent me from fighting in Creator Clash 2? iDubbbz responds, "It's not a reflection on you. It's just a very painful and difficult thing for me that I'm dealing with, that I need to keep distance from, and that includes this project." Froggy responds, "I would just appreciate a yes or no answer, man. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to boxing practice tomorrow or not." iDubbbz responds, "It kind of depends on what your plan is, because Sam Hyde is banned from our event. If you want him to be there, we cannot accommodate that." Froggy responds, "My plan is to go to Rhode Island to hang with him. So again, I asked, if I go to work with him, are you going to prevent me from fighting in Creator Clash 2? I would appreciate a yes or no answer. I have to talk to my coach about practice this week." iDubbbz responds, "Wait, I'm not sure I understand. Does that mean you aren't expecting him to be at the event? Are you going to make content together?" Froggy responds by saying, "He has not mentioned attending the event. I don't believe he intends to do so. I have not discussed this with him. I do intend to make content with him. Now that I've answered your questions, would you be respectful enough to answer mine?" iDubbbz responds, "This event is really important to me, and I'm just trying to understand everything so I can make the best decision for everyone involved. I need time to think about this. I don't want to be rash." Froggy responds, "So I'm going to schedule practice this week not knowing whether or not you are allowing me to fight in the event because I'm going to hang out with someone you don't like? Okay." iDubbbz responds, "I don't understand why you are talking to me like this. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I explained to you the awful experience events I've had with him. It potentially leads to another year of harassment for me and Aniza. I can't take this stuff lightly. Can you guarantee that it's not gonna end up affecting? This isn't just someone I don't like. This is someone who is dedicated to disrupting an event we are running for charity, harassing its two main organizers, and sending his fan base to do his bidding. I want you to fight. I just want you to know the pain he's caused me, Aniza, and our event. Froggy responds, dude, because you were trying to tell me who I can and can't be friends with, I'm going to Rhode Island to work with Sam, and I'm scheduling my practices for this week. If I'm being removed from the event, please let me know. iDubbbz responds, I never said you couldn't be friends with him. I would just prefer if you waited till after the event to post content with him. Froggy responds, yeah, that's weird. I'm not the type of person that you can just make do whatever you want, or what is convenient for you. I have a life and a family. You were not gonna change my mind. I'm going to work with him. I'm trying to cook dinner for my kid. Sounds like your personal problems are interfering with your business. iDubbbz responds, it wasn't my intention to dictate things to you. I just wanted to give you my perspective because we haven't talked about this topic before. Ultimately, it is your decision. I'm sorry the convo went in this direction. Froggy responds, okay, I'll fight, thanks. After Jabroni shows these DMs, he follows it up by saying, so after watching this video, iDubbbz, it's your event. Kick or don't kick whoever you want. But how did Harley know specifics about text conversations between Froggy and Aniza? How did Alana Pierce know specifics of the legal notice that your lawyer sent to Froggy? Hire a spokesperson next year instead of leaking stuff to your friends to defend you on social media. Also, the text conversation above. Neither of you guys were communicating clearly. Next year, just put in the contract who fighters can and can't train with. Then there's no confusion. I know I criticized this a lot, but I hope this event continues to succeed. Very entertaining. Willie Macshow shows a picture of iDubbbz in the video and says, as iDubbbz disavows his past, he has become more and more homeless and unwashed looking. He then shows the video title and thumbnail and says, this is the worst content cop I have ever watched. Took him 30 minutes to say he got offended. Willie Macshow then shows the DMs and says, iDubbbz kicked off Froggy fresh because Froggy didn't think hanging with Sam Hyde was a big deal. Ian said it is a big deal because I got harassed online about it. There, I just saved you 30 minutes of iDubbbz trying to justify being a total pussy. The funniest part is the entire video is Ian complaining about shit Froggy said after he was kicked from the event. Duh, he was rude to you after you already banned him. Shaking my head, this video is for glue eaters. Glue eater Def Noodles quote tweets Willie and says, iDubbbz made it very clear to Froggy that he was crossing a boundary that could jeopardize his position in the event. That being said, while I initially had sympathy for Froggy because I didn't think collabing with Sam Hyde was a big deal, after getting the full context of what happened behind the scenes between Froggy and Ian, as well as Sam's treatment of Aniza, I think it's safe to say most people in a loving relationship would do the same to protect their partner. At the end of the day, it's their event. They are free to set the expectations for participants as they please. Elvis the Alien responds to Willie by saying, truly abominable thumbnail, lol, showing the thumbnail of the video. Power of Myth responds to Willie by saying, I don't know, it's Ian's event. He can do what he wants. It's kind of alpha to kick someone because the guy he trains with talks shit about his wife for months. Super trad of Ian. I dig it. E-Boy responds to Willie by saying, all he had to say was, we have a code of conduct. This entire defense of Froggy and Sam are mean is completely unnecessary. It's cool that he wants to turn over a new leaf, but he berated creators for years. You really shouldn't be crying about harassment. Whitey responds to Willie by saying, can they both just admit Aniza got offended by the OnlyFans joke, despite how tame it was, and used Sam Hyde as a scapegoat? Provolone Cheese says, why would he even upload this? The video just proves that Sam Hyde is successful in trolling the shit out of Ian, and he's going to keep doing it, laughing my ass off. Willie Macshow tweets out this clip from Ian's video and captions it by saying, bro, what is this video, laughing my fucking ass off? God forbid you joke about OnlyFans.
I don't think Froggy respects sex workers. I think he has some really old, tired opinions about people who do sex work. I think he has a lot of weird opinions as well about masculinity and shit.
Belle Delphine then ratios Willie when she replies by saying, you can joke and insult whoever you want, but why would you expect to still be welcome to their event? For instance, if you were to insult Gordon Ramsay's wife repeatedly, it would be reasonable to expect he would drop you from Hell's Kitchen without hesitation. Willie Macshow responds by saying, because he said he didn't care, and that's not why he kicked him, then proceeded to cry about it for 20 minutes. Mr. Freeman responds to Belle by saying, so iCucks shouldn't be invited to any event ever? Bit harsh. Belle responds by saying, yeah, it works both ways. I wouldn't expect somebody like Tana Mongu to ever want to invite iDubbbz to any event she creates, considering the video he made about her. I am for free speech all the way, but expect people to resent you if you personally attack them, OFC. Repsonse responds to Willie by saying, people make jokes about my OnlyFans all the time. Who fucking cares? He then makes a tweet of his own that says, I watched iDubbbz's newest video on Froggy Fresh drama, and wow, what a cope fest. The mini rant about how dare you make jokes about about OnlyFans, yet the video is sponsored by Fansly. Video felt like it was all virtue signaling. Mind you, I do OnlyFans myself. I don't see the issue. Humor is subjective. Matt Pitt shows a picture of iDubbbz about to say the N-word at Tanamongu's event, next to a screenshot of the DM he sent Froggy explaining the harassment he and his wife has received from Sam Hyde, and captions it by saying, "I can't believe we're in a world where the guy who did this now texts this." Ryan Beard says, "To the people who are anti-iDubbbz, at what point would you think it's reasonable to set up a boundary that you don't want to associate with the friends of someone who repeatedly insults you and your wife? Do you think people should even have these types of boundaries? Obviously, iDubbbz has also insulted a lot of people in the past, like Leafy, Ricegum, etc. But I also think it would be reasonable if Leafy didn't want to associate with iDubbbz. I'm just confused by this idea that people should have no boundaries with the people who insult them. Like, I've shit on Sneeko a lot, and if Sneeko didn't want to associate with me, I think that would be totally reasonable. I also don't want to associate with him. Certain people on the internet just aren't meant to interact with each other in my opinion." Dumbsville shows a picture of iDubbbz from the video and captions it by saying, "The iDubbbz drama is like seeing some guy who peaked in high school reveal to everyone that he injected experimental steroids to get on the football team." FPS Diesel says, "Can't believe this guy killed iDubbbz," showing a picture of Brandon Buckingham wearing a chest plate. He continues by saying, "Sam has been running to new high right now like Fish Tank has captured the internet for weeks, where Creator Clash was a single night. Invoking Sam's name has made people run. It's hilarious. Even I've lost mutuals for tweeting about the guy. It's comedy. All Creator Clash needed to do was hype it up pre-event. But the only reason I knew it was happening, as someone who covers news online, is because drama happened. Take a cue from wrestling. Maybe some showmanship would have helped." Adam Nader says, "God, the resurgence of Sam Hyde and his crusty side of the internet has collectively broken thousands of people's brains all over again. Made the mistake of reading the comments on the new iDubbbz video. Shit is bleak. Like, dude is not a funny haha comedian, man. He's a right-wing freakazoid, using sketches and streams as a thin-veiled cover for disseminating his abhorrent takes and ideology. And it's not even remotely subtle." Harley TBS says, "I don't understand how iDubbbz thought this video was going to go well. His entire platform's built off edgy commentary. He won't win his audience over by being offended when they literally subscribe to him because he was the one saying offensive shit in the first place. This isn't even a comment on the content of the video itself. I'm just talking solely about knowing your audience and who you were appealing to." Ricky Berwick says, "Lol, iDubbbz should have never made that video. He should just take his money and go offline for a few years." Cocaine Kurt responds to him by saying, "It's funny you defend a pedo wannabe Nazi named Sam Hyde, when the real Nazis would have thrown your ass in the furnace at first glance." Ricky quote tweets him and says, "I met iDubbbz, and he was a fake asshole after that," showing a picture of them together on wheelchairs. Chris Pratt responds by saying, "Yeah, you mentioned how he was kinda quiet, and didn't seem like he wanted to be there. Guess he's ableist." Ricky quote tweets him and says, "Him and Anisa also called me socially awkward afterwards to one of my friends via DMs. I have improved my social interaction since then, but kinda fucked up." Boogie2988 reacts to the iDubbbz video by saying, "I wasn't expecting to get dragged as talentless in the iDubbbz video. I get the point he was making by saying I am not a professional boxer, but I've been training my ass off and trying to change my life. Felt like a pretty low blow. Hahaha." Boxing joke. Vale says, 2 minutes into iDubbbz's new video and he already is apologizing for his old content. What a pussy. Jordan says, "Watching people dog on iDubbbz for defending his wife and getting rid of shitty people is absolutely insane. Like, bro, people can change?" Teddy says, "iDubbbz is not only proof that people have the capacity to change, but he's also hot and has a mustache, so..." Never in my life did I think I would be defending iDubbbz on Twitter.com, but anyone shitting on him for his decision / his new video is actually fucking brain dead. His reaction and decision to kick that guy out of the event was completely valid and justified. Danny says, "iDubbbz is such a L, lol." Leafy retweets a tweet he made on the 16th of April, where he laughs at iDubbbz crying and getting kissed by Anisa after losing his boxing match at Creator Clash 2. Plain Rock says, "iDubbbz fell off harder than me, what the fuck?" Scott Schaefer says, "Balance achieved, Thanos is smiling," showing that at the time he took a screenshot of iDubbbz's video, the dislikes and likes are both at 20k. Turkey Tom shows the part of iDubbbz's video where he labels him as a Sam Hyde fan and captions it by saying, "It's actually so fucking over, bros. W or L?" Brandon Buckingham responds, "He got us." Brandon Buckingham then shows the part of iDubbbz's video where he shows Brandon interviewing Rusty Cage and says, "Man, this new iDubbbz video sucks." iDubbbz banned Sam Hyde and Froggy Fresh from his event, then used their negative reactions to being banned as his explanation for why he banned them. Pretty backwards. Wavy Websurf says, "So iDubbbz explicitly says Froggy Froggy wasn't banned because of the OnlyFans joke. It was because of his friendship with Sam Hyde, but his entire video was him showing examples of Froggy joking on OnlyFans models. Opinion: he banned him for both Sam and the OnlyFans joke. Wavy then also shows the part of iDubbbz video where Brandon is interviewing Rusty and says, very on brand for Rusty Cage to just randomly catch a stray at the end of the new content cop. Brandon responds by saying, I don't get why he closed the video with that clip. Wavy responds, the puppet master making marionette moves. Rusty Cage says, that's the last time I attempted diplomacy. Too much goofy internet drama for me. He then shows a screenshot of the bad dislike to like ratio on iDubbbz video and says, go ahead and dislike. The engagement still helps me in the algorithm. The funny thing is too, right before Aniza confronted me, I was planning on going over and talking to Ian to try and squash whatever weird beef there may have been between us. But of course, that would have probably been considered an unmasculine move by his standards. And Blemon shows that same part of iDubbbz video and says, wow, Turkey Tom and Rusty Cage were invited to the iDubbbz shaming party. Isn't there someone else you were forgetting? Or did I not fall into your straw man argument of shaming sex workers? Obviously referencing the fact that in the Brandon Buckingham video that iDubbbz cited for his video, Empleman also gave his opinion on Froggy Fresh being banned, but wasn't included in the iDubbbz video like Rusty Cage, Turkey Tom, and Brandon Buckingham were. Death Crips responds by saying, sorry, you were not part of the Cool Kids Club, showing a picture with a sign that says, He-Man Woman Haters Club. Death Crips then makes a tweet of his own that says, excited for everyone to finally see my collaboration with iDubbbz.
A lot of it's not explicitly said, but when you listen to the jokes, it's like, oh, that's actually just your opinion phrased in a comedic
There I
way.
am, Gary,
There
there
was some
I
type
am.
of nerd fight last year.
Death Crips makes another funny Twitter video with the caption, addressing the elephant in the room.
Hey guys, I wanted to address some things that have been brought to my attention, and I wanted to start off by saying, everybody knows as of lately that my girlfriend has an OnlyFans. Yes, it's true. And I know that people have been on record making a lot of disrespectful jokes about it. So, I just want to come out there and say, doesn't bother me. It is absolutely fine. I don't care. I get it, you know. You all thought of me one way, but in all reality, I'm not like that. I know that I put that image out there, and that's what made me popular, and that's what I did it for. But, yeah, no, not who I am, and don't be surprised, okay? Make all the jokes you want, doesn't bother me, get over it, okay? That being said, I also want to address the fact that I kicked somebody out of an event that I was hosting for associating with a person who made jokes about my wife and her having an OnlyFans, because what in the actual fuck, dude? Are you unhinged? You're literally crazy. You're absolutely insane. I would never in a million years want to reach out to you to make a video and then turn my back on you when you don't abide by the way I want you to behave. This is insane. You're actually fucking crazy, dude. And I shouldn't have to associate with you. Or anybody that I don't want to. And I don't have to put up with this bullshit. This is fucking crazy. Also, I'm big gay.
And then Death Crips makes one more video with the caption, what did we learn from the iDubbbz and Froggy Fresh drama?
And at the end of the day, it's pretty poetically beautiful that the man who made Content Top, a video series that was made to comedically critique individuals and those around them, is seemingly breaking down right in front of our very eyes. All because him and others around him are being comedically critiqued. So, all in all, I guess the lesson to be learned here is that, this is what e-girl pussy does to a motherfucker.
AugRFC says, I don't think it's appropriate that you're hanging out with a guy that doesn't think women are people. iDubbbz to Froggy about Sam Hyde, laughing my ass off. Lucari tweets out, nuclear take apparently. This is a good video. iDubbbz not associating with a guy who openly harasses him and his wife is completely fair. Froggy was acting like a knob in this situation. Augie quote tweets him and says, it's fine for Ian to not want to work with Sam Hyde. Good thing he never had to. Sam privately training a fighter at his event literally doesn't affect it at all. And Ian was indirect with Froggy in the text text messages. Froggy asked Ian multiple times if it was too far. Even if you were being ultra charitable to iDubbbz, it doesn't really work. His video was shit because it was 26 minutes of him saying Sam is too mean. Sure, why does that matter though? It doesn't. Nicholas Diorio says, how many of these clips Ian posted of Froggy talking shit came after he was thrown off the card unceremoniously 3 weeks before? Laughing my fucking ass off. Nerd emoji. Bro, if you told 2016 me that iDubbbz would upload a video where I optics check Sam Hyde with Keemstar in 2023, I would never believe you. This is awesome. Not really sure what to say about the iDubbbz video, honestly. He basically faced the criticism head on and went, yes, exactly what you said about me is true. I am like that. Well shit man, laughing my ass off. I guess that's it, laughing my ass off. This take was too hot for some at the time, but it's so fucking true. Especially after that vid. He then shows a tweet thread he made in March, where he says, I'm tired of all the conspiracies about Aniza being the singular reason why iDubbbz sucks now. It's kind of pathetic to act like Ian has no agency, and was put under a spell by a gold digger, laughing my fucking ass off. Just admit you don't like him as the insufferable person he grew into. It's not like it took a woman's influence to turn Ethan Klein into a loser. The sweet, smug smell of Cali air and an inflated ego did that all by itself. People change, and it's okay to not like them anymore when they start to suck, lol. Just to clarify a bit, since this seems to have been lost in translation, this isn't a defense of Aniza, it's a jab at iDubbbz. I don't think Aniza has mind control powers, but I also can't stand her. I just think people sound pathetic when they make 1,000 excuses because they wish iDubbbz would wake up randomly on any given Tuesday, divorce his wife, and make a new bad unboxing / content cop. You just sound insane, lol. Little bro, you don't like him. Back to present day, Nicholas Diorio continues tweeting about iDubbbz's new video by saying, dude, after everyone fucking cried and said it wasn't true, Ian straight up said Froggy got kicked for doing a collab with Sam Hyde. I feel so gaslit from those spaces, laughing my fucking ass off. Like, agree or disagree. I am just happy that this shit is out in the open. People acted like we were insane to say that. Harley plays, bro, you owe me like $5 or something retroactively from a bet we never made. Harley quote tweets Nick and says, this proves I wasn't a talking piece for Creator Clash 2. I shared a perspective that I thought could make sense to a mob that didn't want to hear it. I said like 50 times I wasn't speaking on behalf of anybody, and everyone claimed otherwise. Renaissance Crusade responds by saying, just think it's pretty shitty of ya to act like what Ian did was alright, when you in fact trained with Sam, made way more content based around him, and even went so far to defend him. Now all that's changed? Harley responds, I never said it was right or wrong. I was just pointing out how the situation could have possibly ended up here, and how it can all make sense. That's all. But people don't want to hear an alternative perspective, it seems. Nicholas then tweets out, I think we underestimated Harley's ability to damage control effectively. We were too hard on him. I wonder how many of the content creators saying iDubbbz video is good are just trying to avoid getting blackballed from Creator Clash 3, laughing my ass off. Keemstar says, boxing is a dangerous sport. iDubbbz brain damage cost him the ability to make good arguments. Creator Clash is a great event, and I look forward to the event next year. The owners of Creator Clash are very sensitive, and not inclusive at all, my opinion. Retweet if you think iDubbbz should train with Sam Hyde for his next boxing match, so he can win. So Sam Hyde just tweeted he left a comment, but it's not on the video? Did they delete his comment? He then shows Sam's comment which says, come train with me. Do it in secret and for free. I don't need clout or money. I will stake my career and reputation on you getting a win. Sam Hyde quote tweets Keem and says, it could just be YouTube's automatic filter. Offer still stands. Keemstar then shows that iDubbbz blocked him and says, bro, what? What happened to the internet bully guy? In reference to the current iDubbbz / Creator Clash situation, Korn has been talking shit about me for years. I talked shit back, it's whatever. Instead of blocking Korn or banning him from Happy Punch boxing events, I included him in it. I see people defending iDubbbz actions for banning Sam Hyde and Froggy Fresh, saying it's good he's changed and has grown. Is blocking / banning people growing? Blocking people makes you a grown-up? Really? Being overly sensitive has always been seen as childish. Optimus says, not gonna lie, iDubbbz looked like a total pussy in those texts between him and Froggy Fresh, and was clearly dodging any question Froggy had for him. This idea that he was clear about his intentions through these texts with Froggy Fresh is just not true, laughing my ass off. He couldn't have been more vague. It's also hilarious because iDubbbz wants to act like him essentially demanding Froggy Fresh to postpone posting any content with Sam Hyde is even remotely reasonable as a request, laughing my ass off. I don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody would ever tell me when I can and can't upload my own content. Be iDubbbz. Spend years of your life making content centered around edgy humor, racism, shitting on other content creators, etc. Gain millions of subs plus huge reputation in creator scene. Repeatedly defend yourself in said content over several years. Times change. YouTube suddenly cracks down on edgy content, and slowly over several months, and much of the content iDubbbz was popular for is now going to the wayside and not as profitable. Suddenly disavow content immediately after dating new chick, Anisa. Insult previous fans and become generally insufferable. Cope that everyone blames your girlfriend. The only new visible variable in the entire equation for your newfound behavior. Repeatedly cope over OnlyFans jokes / Anisa joke, which only makes things worse. Beef with Froggy Fresh and kick him out of your event for collaborating with Sam Hyde. Claim it's not due to the OnlyFans joke. Make a 27-minute video where 90% of the video is you coping about misogyny and Froggy's OnlyFans joke. Instantaneous backlash and criticism. Public perception of you as a person now at a record low. Holy fuck, how did we get to this point? Laughing my ass off. If this whole situation is weighing on bro's mind like he's claiming it is, then he needs a fucking therapist. I just realized this, but iDubbbz gave up his birth name to take Anisa's last name. Laughing my ass off. Some black guy then shares his opinion in a Twitter video titled, iDubbbz Froggy Fresh drama reminds me of Bill Burr and Anthony Camilla fallout.
Essentially, this situation reminds me of Bill Burr. Bill Burr had a falling out with Anthony Cumia of, former Opie and Anthony. And Anthony Cumia, kind of scummy. He said some not so nice things about Bill Burr's wife, called her ugly and all this stuff. And obviously, naturally, Bill Burr wants absolutely nothing to do with Anthony Cumia. Bill Burr every year does this benefit, this Patricia O'Neal benefit, because he died back in like 2011 or something. And Anthony Cumia he's banned essentially. He's not invited to this thing anymore. He can't participate, right? For obvious reasons. And if you look at the internet's reaction to this, people in the comedy scene, everything, everyone understands. They totally understand. Anthony Cumia even recently tried to make amends, and Bill Burr was not having it. He's like, nah, man, you're a scumbag. Had him kicked out of this club they were at. Anthony was all mad, but the internet, again, understood. People were saying things like, yeah, man, as a man, that's what you do. You got to defend your wife. Totally understandable. He's doing what any reasonable person would do. So when it comes to iDubbbz and the situation with Froggy Fresh and Sam Hyde, how the fuck is that any different? So Froggy Fresh associates with the one guy that they can't stand, the one guy that's been relentlessly shitting on Anisa. Sounds kind of like, oh, well, fuck this guy. Hey, we brought him into this event, and then he's just associating with this one dude that's been just giving us a lot of fucking grief. So yeah, I don't want anything to do with him anymore. Pretty simple to me. I just say take iDubbbz and Anisa, Froggy Fresh, and Sam Hyde out of the situation. That's why I use Bill Burr as an example. Put anybody else in those situations. Anyone that you hate or anyone that you love. Why is this problematic? Why is this a fucking issue? It just sounds like people are all up in their feelings because they don't like who iDubbbz has become and they think Anisa has been pulling the strings and all this shit. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I really don't. To me, it's just the situation. Having an event, you hired some talent, the talent associated with someone who's been shitting on your wife, don't want them there anymore.
He then follows up his video by saying, some people out here trying to act like they wouldn't do the same thing if they were in the same situation. Froggy even said he didn't like the vibe of creator clash, so severing ties was the only move that made sense. Why stay on an event you don't even like? Lol. If a friend or business partner was associating with someone who's been relentlessly shitting on my wife, we absolutely wouldn't be cool anymore. They have every right to pursue a relationship with that person, but I have every right to sever ties with said friend. The Quartering says, watched the iDubbbz vid. Hearing him unironically refer to mean words online as harassment? Oof. Thing is, Ian made these choices, not his girl. I have a strong suspicion that his wife is the first girl he's ever had sex with. He's willingly cucked. Blaming her doesn't fit. It's really hard to blame the guy for being the way he is when half the internet is calling his wife a whore. This is who Ian is now. Shitting on him endlessly feels mean-spirited now. The man got a crumb of pussy and abandoned everything he ever believed. Fellas out there, I bet you've had a friend at some point who turned out just like this. I know I did. Dude's just like Horatio Sands in Tomcat, if you were old enough to remember that movie. Side note, I wonder if that still holds up. Moose Choose says, I liked iDubbbz's response. Flamenco TV says, for someone that is very secure about Anisa's OnlyFans, iDubbbz gets really fucking insecure when her OnlyFans gets brought up. Memeology101 says, iDubbbz looks like a crack addict. Jack Saint says, the weird thing about the iDubbbz situation is seeing people act like openly associating with a guy who called my partner a slut for internet cred would be like the masculine Chad move and not the most weak, pathetic shit imaginable. Yeah, bro. Real cuck move from iDubbbz not working with a guy publicly insulting his partner, so a bunch of online shut-ins can and think he's still based and red-pilled. I grieve for the significant others none of you will ever have. I will have it on record that yeah, if you call my spouse an ethot bitch, I would ban you from any event I had control over attendance on, regardless of the imaginary clout you think I have to gain from you. Ted Cruz energy. Extremely sad. Cavo shows the DMs between Froggy and iDubbbz, and captions it by saying, iDubbbz is such a moron. Tried making a video justifying why he kicked out Froggy Fresh from Creator Clash, and ended up looking worse. These text messages make him look like such a baby. Barry Blockstan responds by saying, I find it really funny that out of everything iDubbbz has done, him growing up is what gets him the most hate he's ever gotten in his entire career. Technical says, these DMs were the most professional shit I've read all month. What the fuck are you saying? Froggy just comes off as dense and unyielding. Xavier's Online says, Sam Hyde is a Nazi cunt, and iDubbbz is not obligated to associate with him. Put your big boy pants on and accept that not everyone has to get along with your weirdo fucking friends. He then quote tweets Cavo saying that the video is not doing too well, showing the dislike to like ratio, and captions it by saying, you have to get along with weird Nazi YouTuber. Look at the dislike button. The people want you to be friends. Grow up. Thank God Joji got out when he did. Harley quote tweets Cavos and says, man, I feel old today, laughing my ass off. How can you think these texts make iDubbbz look bad? To me, they come off as mature, transparent, proactive, and professional. Communicating thoroughly is not baby behavior. Willie Maxwell responds, cause Ian is paranoid and getting in Froggy's business, when it's literally just Froggy hanging with his friend. In the vid, he said he kicked Froggy out for posting content with Sam, but it was just some tweet. Very few YouTubers would consider that content, lol. Feels like Ian was looking for a reason to kick him cause he obviously hates Sam. Harley responds, getting in Froggy's business. Technically, they got in business together when they signed a contract, so his texts were not outlandish because they are literally doing business together. Very Bad responds by saying, the signed contract had no such point that barred him from training and hanging with whomever he wanted to. Harley responds, I'm technically not allowed to talk about specific. There is language in the contract that includes people you associate with publicly. It's actually common in lots of contracts. I lost a deal with a hotel chain way back in the day for a tweet I engaged with. Cavos responds to Harley by saying, the combination of these texts with the actual outcome of what happened, Ian only ended up attracting the attention he claimed he didn't want by his actions. These texts don't come across well in my opinion after everything we know happened. Harley responds, the texts come off like a mature attempt to proactively avoid drama in my opinion. In fact, considering how everything played out, those texts also come off as ample warning backed with a transparent justification and explanation. Mexican George Lopez responds, nah, it just shows how soft he is. He shouldn't be in the entertainment business if comments are the straw that breaks you. Harley responds, I don't know about that, bro. He seems to be doing pretty well in the entertainment business. Plain Rock responds to Harley by saying, get off his dick, you got paid already. Harley responds, I'll continue to call out things as I see them, whether I'm paid or not. Why are you so mad at iDubbbz? Plain Rock responds, for starters, and then shows a bunch of tweets that I previously showed, criticizing iDubbbz video. Harley responds, what does this mean? To which Plain Rock responds, you got brain damage from the fight. Harley responds, no, seriously. What does your tweet even mean? I want to reply, but I don't understand what your point is. Plain Rock responds, why the new iDubbbz video was bad. Harley responds, hahaha, you're weird. Spawndial responds to Harley by saying, you asked him what reasons he was mad at iDubbbz, so he took screenshots showing said reasons, laughing my ass off. It's not that complex. Harley responds, apparently he responded with, why iDubbbz video is bad, and not, why is he mad at iDubbbz? You guys aren't even on the same page, laughing my ass off. This is dumb as hell, lol. Plain Rock responds, it's the reason I'm mad at him today? Check your brain damage, please. Harley responds, that's why you're mad at him today? Plain Rock responds, did anyone screenshot his instantly deleted tweet, where he doubles down about me being the dumb one, but he finally got smart and hit delete? Spawndial then responds with the deleted tweet, and Harley responds by saying, it was just me having a hard time understanding what you were trying to say. Plain Rock responds, bro admitted he dumb! To which Harley responds, no, you were silly and weird. And then as the final tweet to read, Aniza herself tweeted out, the internet is having a much needed conversation about what is appropriate conduct online and what should/shouldn't be tolerated. It's good and needed to happen. And that's about it for the discussion around this on Twitter. Well, not really. There's a ton more tweets constantly coming out as the video from iDubbbz just uploaded yesterday and people have a lot to say. But if a significant amount of important tweets about the situation continue to be made past this video's upload, I will be making a part 2, so be sure to subscribe with notifications on if you don't want to miss that. As for my opinion on this, I actually quote tweeted a tweet I read earlier in this video that came from Ryan Beard asking people why they are anti-iDubbbz, where I say, for me the key word here is friends with someone who repeatedly insults you and your wife. It's guilt by association. Sam is an adult, Froggy can't control and micromanage micromanage what he says online, and I think it's unfair that Froggy gets punished for stuff someone else said. iDubbbz being a good partner slash husband by not associating with people who relentlessly trash on his wife is 100% a good thing. I don't think it's cucked, it's respectable. But Froggy isn't the person who did that, it was Sam. My other criticism beyond what I said in that tweet is specifically with the text between Froggy and iDubbbz. Harley said there's language in the contract that Froggy signed for Creator Clash that prevents him from associating with certain people publicly leading up to the event. But if that was the case, why didn't Ian just say to Froggy that he needs to stop working with Sam or he's gonna get kicked from the event? He implied it, and Froggy asked for a direct answer, but iDubbbz said he had to think about it, and this conversation took place prior to Froggy meeting up with Sam. So if Froggy was literally about to do something that broke the contract and would have got him kicked out of the event, why didn't Ian say, you can't do that or I'm gonna kick you? It could have prevented this entire thing from happening. Or if Froggy went through with it, it would have made him look dumb because he had a warning from Ian prior literally telling him that he would get kicked if he went to train with Sam Hyde. But that's just my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comment section below. We have a lot more drama videos coming up on this channel, so again, if you don't want to miss anything, be sure to stay subscribed. And if you want to see all of the conversation around this topic prior to iDubbbz video and prior to Creator Clash, I have a couple videos on that you can check out on the end screen right now. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.